Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Guys, it is finally spooky season and I am so excited for the fall. So today we are going to be doing my October bullet journal setup. I hope you guys are ready and let's get right on into it. So firstly, we are going to start with our cover page, and for this theme I wanted to go more for kind of like a vintage Halloween look. I don't know if that's the right word choice to use, but I wanted to use a lot of brown paper bag, a lot of ink, a lot of like black construction paper, and like kind of like a minimalist Halloween look, but still kind of having a lot going on at the same time. I don't know if you guys are catching my vibe, but yeah, so anyways, I picked up some of this Halloween scrapbook paper from Michael's and I decided to incorporate it in here somehow. So that's what you see, that I'm using the orange scrapbook paper with like the black cat, and I wanted this to kind of be like a reoccurring theme. Like for the most part it's like black, white, and brown, and then you have like this pop of orange coming from scrapbook paper. So that was gonna kind of be the theme, you know? So here I am just pasting all of the pieces onto the cover page, and I decided to go with like this black circle in the background to kind of make everything pop on top of it. And then I also decided to draw this coffin shape, which the first one I didn't really like very much. That's why I redrew it and tore the other one off and stuck this one on instead. And then on the left side of the page I'm also going to include a calendar for the month of October. I feel like having a calendar is always really important because I can always flip back and see how many weeks are in October and like which days they are, so always like to include that. And then I also did some doodles of this pumpkin and this witch's hat, and I used some stippling to kind of do the shading in those doodles. And here I'm just adding some spider webs to fill up the extra space. And since October is my favorite month and Halloween is my favorite holiday, I wanted to go all out for this cover page. So I decided to do like this ribbon look and then have October written on there. And this was kind of a challenge because I didn't really know how like a ribbon would lay in this position, because I wanted to kind of be behind the pieces of paper to kind of add a little bit more depth to the page. So that was kind of tricky to figure out how I was going to make the ribbon like hide behind everything and then kind of peek out, but I think I did a pretty okay job. And over here on the left side of the page I decided to add a Halloween quote since it kind of looked a little bit empty and plain. So it says, "When the witches go riding and black cats are seen, the moon laughs and whispers, 'tis near Halloween." And I decided to make Halloween a really fancy like cursive font to kind of add like some more variety in the lettering and everything like that. And that's another tip that I wanted to bring up to you guys. When I first started bullet journaling, I had a really hard time making like my lettering look good. And then once I started looking more and more at other people's bullet journals and their examples, they would use more than one font or like lettering style. So I started doing that and it added some more variety to my pages and added like some more ways of writing letters, and so that really helped everything kind of like stand out more and look less like monotone, I guess you would say. So yeah, it makes the pages look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. And then here I am also adding some indie ink. So I actually picked this up from one of my classes. It was one of the materials that we got. And so I just decided to douse the page in like a bunch of indie ink just to make it look like it's a little bit worn or like weathered or like someone spilled stuff on it, you know, like a creepy old book. And also that was my first time using any sort of liquid medium in my bullet journal. Usually I try to stray away from that because I'm a little scared of using that and like ruining the other pages in my bullet journal, but I think it's fine as long as you add another paper behind the page that you're working on. So here we're starting on week 1, and again I just wanted to go for like that Halloween minimalist look. However, as the pages go on they do kind of get a little bit hectic and I do start adding a lot more stuff. And here I'm also going to be using some of my Halloween stickers from my Halloween sticker sheet. So I'm using this one. It is a candy corn, and if you guys are interested in these stickers, of course I always have my Etsy shop linked in the description in case you guys want to go ahead and check that out. I also have other little stickers in there as well that are singles. Most of them are like kind of funny and like cutesy, so if you want to go check that out, go ahead and do so. And so here I'm also adding some spider webs in the corner. If I see that a page looks plain, I try to find a way to like fill it up and make it look a little bit more balanced, so that way the two pages look like they have an equal amount of stuff on them. And again, I'm going in and I'm brushing on some indie ink. So I really like to water it down at first and then I build the colors up as I go. And here I was using a kind of like flat brush, so it isn't really the like perfect brush that you want to use for this type of thing. It was just the only brush that I had on hand since I do live in my dorm and everything, and usually I don't always have all my materials with me. For the next 2 pages, I'm going to try a little bit of a different layout. It's something that I've never really tried before. So on the left side, I'm going to have my October bucket list, which is going to include all of the things I want to do during October, such as like going to a pumpkin patch, getting pumpkin spice lattes, and going to the zoo during the Halloween events, so everything fun like that. And then on the right page is going to be half of week 1, and then on the back of that page is going to be the other half. So I hope you guys are like understanding what I'm trying to say. So for the front page of the right one, I'm going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then on the back of that is going to be the rest of the week, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's just kind of like a different thing, just like spice it up a little bit, because usually I have the 2 pages be 1 week, but this time it's going to be 1 page that is front and back. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm just adding this cute little doodle of like a magic book with like a bunch of little like twinklies and sparklies to make it look kind of like mystical and stuff like that. And now we are going to get started on the next 2 pages. So for this page, I already knew that I had wanted to do a drawing of a moon. So here I am using washi tape to go ahead and trace it so I can get a perfect circle. And then I'm going to write my days of the week. So of course we have the leftover days, which are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And for the moon, I had a really special plan for this. I knew that I wanted it to be realistic, and so I'm going to go ahead and be using my indie ink. So I'm using my indie ink with a light wash first, and then I'm going to go ahead back in and then darken up the colors and make like the different spots on the moon, because the moon has like craters and shadows, and so I wanted to make some spots darker than the others. And here's the ink that I'm using. I'm using the super black indie ink. And then for the right page, I am just ripping out this piece of brown paper bag, and I usually get my paper bags from like Olive Garden especially right now because I always order takeout, and so I get like those giant paper bags, and so I have like all of that paper bag to use and I don't want to throw it away. So I use the takeout bags from food and recycle them and give them a whole new purpose. So that's kind of a tip in case you guys have a bunch of like takeout food bags and you don't know what to do with them. You can always recycle them and use them for your bullet journal or any other craft projects. So for these next 2 pages, I'm going to be starting off using some indie ink, and I'm going to be doing a light wash, and I'm just going to be building up the colors in the opposite corners. And then I'm also going to be splattering a couple of little dots all around the paper just to kind of make it look worn, like, I don't know, like it's been through some stuff. And so this page is going to be week 3, I believe, and it's also going to be a cemetery scene. So I'm doing these really rough sketches of these tombstones, and I'm going over the lines twice to kind of give it like that messy look. I've been seeing that a lot lately, and I really like the way that looks. I think it makes it look really cool and really like grunge. And then I'm just going to write the days of the week on the tombstones as well. Some of the tombstones didn't have a place for me to write it, so I just either wrote it like under it or above it, which is fine. And then I'm just going to add shading to the sides of the tombstones as well. Alright, so now we are down to the last 2 pages. Yay! Well, I guess it's not really yay because I never really want October to end because Halloween is awesome. But for these last 2 pages, these are going to be primarily black. So I'm using some black construction paper and gluing that right onto the pages. And then I'm also going to use this piece of brown paper bag to use as like a title page to like put my title on. And since I don't really have any reliable white pins, I am opting to put squares of brown paper bag on there instead, so that way I can use my regular black pins to write on all my information and the days of the week on there and stuff. But yeah, it would look really awesome if I did have a white pen, because then I could just write it on there as it is, but I don't really have one. I only have this white Posca pen or Posca marker, and that one is a little bit too bulky to write finely, so I opted to do that instead. And then right onto the paper bag, I am also writing October 31st, and the 31st kind of looks a little bit wonky because there isn't really enough space, so I didn't really place it correctly, but It's fine, no one's gonna notice. And then for the days of the week, I use my white Posca pen to go ahead and write the M for Monday, the T for Tuesday, W for Wednesday, and then TH for Thursday. And I didn't really have enough room to write the F for Friday, Saturday, so I just wrote the S for Sunday, and hopefully it works out. Then I also labeled Halloween because yay, the 31st, Halloween, of course, had to make it stand out. And of course, just a bunch of extra stickers. So now for the final flip through, of course, we have the cover page. And then over here we have week 1. And then on the next page we have my bucket list, and we have half of week 2. And then we have the other half of week 2, and then we also have this page where I can put like all of my other extra information. And then over here we have the graveyard, which is week 3. And then the very last page, the last week of October, of course, the week of Halloween. So that is my bullet journal for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out my shop if you guys are interested in the Halloween stickers, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!